Ah, that went live actually rather fast. Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC joining again for another Reactor video. This time for Star vs. the Force of Evil, Season 3, Episode 18, I think. I'm getting mixed descriptions of what episode they actually are. I probably should check it up, but the Wikipedia says it's 18, so 18. Or what to say is another mystery and Marco Jr. Moving on, join me again, Carlos.
Okay, good evening time, Phillies and Biblical. It is I. I am the hot-blooded leader of this charade of miscreants here, and I hope you all are going to have a pleasant time and learning about my backstory and such, which we will develop very much in a hero's journey sense of way, in which we will delve deep into my insecurities, which will involve an incident when I was little, and then hopefully we'll get to like the part in which like I never leave backstab my party as my white wrong, and then hopefully we can all laugh about this at the very end, in which we have multiple endings to our movie before it finally finishes. I hope you enjoyed the festivities.
Jen?
What he said.
Hello, I'm Jen, and no idea how to follow up that. I never do. I never know how to follow that up. I truly have no idea how to follow that up other than, hello, I'm Jen, and ready to watch Star Versus. How about this weather?
Certainly quite teary.
Yep. Springtime at 38 degrees.
Yeah, just for reference, I don't know what yours is, Carlos, but I know it's probably pretty bad because it's New York.
Oh yeah.
We attract all sorts of weather. I mean, just look at our track record in the 2010s. We attracted hurricanes at last.
At one point downtown got flooded,
including South Ferry, which needed to be reconstructed. Like that. Yeah,
you guys seem to can't get enough of the nor'easters.
Yeah, the nor'easters certainly quite hell.
And here Ninja and I can complain about the Ohio Valley being like, well, Mother Nature off her meds or on the wrong ones.
Yeah, we get weather from like every direction. So right now we're getting about 3 to 5 inches of snow in the first day of spring, or second day, I think it's going to be.
Right now it's raining where I am right now. They say that it's not supposed to happen until it's what they say it's supposed to happen right now. But all I'm seeing is just rain right now. But
it's a sort of sleety rain. I was driving home in it.
Right. And they say, Mother Nature says, or somebody says, like, you can't have all 4 seasons in 1 week. Kentucky says, here, hold my bourbon. And Ohio says, here, hold this coney. Hooray! And then barrel roll through the seasons.
And how's the weather for you, second?
Not much better. Yeah, I mean, winter's certainly having its last hurrah over here, but
you're in Pennsylvania, Steelers. What's it? Pittsburgh. I was like, I need to say because I know they.
Ding.
Yeah, that's right. He's a pirate. He likes to do all villainous acts.
Wait a minute, are you a pirate or a Steeler?
Oh,
just asking. Asking for a friend.
Not a pirate, but I will steal her.
Kidnapper.
All right. But before the audience revolts about this meaning and the weather, is everyone ready for some Star Versus?
Yes.
First 10 seconds, second opinion. Let's roll.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Press play in 3, 2, 1, play. I love that sound.
Yeah.
And now it'll
be the last time again. I'm from around here. I'm from another dimension. Gonna get a little weird. I am from around here. I'm from another
family. This is going to be the last season of this being released first on Disney XD.
Yeah.
We're talking rainbow. We're
talking
Have we seen Kelly use that sword?
Yeah, we've seen her like when she was sparring practice.
Young old man. Oh. When did we establish Buffrog living here?
Well, remember he was given the duty of had a monster whatever duty.
Oh yeah, ambassador. Gotcha. Stop. Oh, beans. You're forgetting about your boyfriend right next to you.
Brian.
There was a slight echo from someone. I just don't know who.
Ooh.
Polo!
Oh. Oh, Marco!
Wow!
You bro!
Wow!
To be fair, Glosser sort of still deserves some of that.
He deserved that. He deserved to be He deserved to be tossed on the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't care how smart he is. He just deserved that.
Where are the children?
Oh no!
Wow! Oh God! Okay, compare yourself to the previous. Huh?
Dude,
Not
really?
very useful.
Marco did you a favor, man.
I mean, then again, Tom is a deep.
Somebody not have headphones in.
I mean, I have my headphones on.
I think there's sometimes leaking through, but
yeah, I think this is going to be one of their steps to getting Tom off out of boyfriend position.
Oh my God! Wow! Wow! Oh, like the horns are pointed out.
Like, why is my face itchy? You have burlap sack.
Wow. It's a bit of a safety hazard for kidnappers if you leave the feet untapped. Oh my God! Oh! That was a cool kick!
Nice.
Oh!
Oh no!
Yay! Oh!
Holy!
What? Wow. Wait.
He's a demon.
Oh my god. Wow.
What?
Mm. Babies. Ooh.
And throwing in the towel. Sing. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
And they're going to be pressured to stay together now and such.
What?
bedroom used to be a store.
Oh my God! It's a baby shower.
It's a storks. They're storks. Kid washing.
Baby shower.
Is it going to be his parents?
Dun dun dun!
Bang.
Wow! What the heck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh my God!
What?
Watch it turn out to be a sister.
Wow.
That's exactly what they do.
Oh,
That's
boy.
exactly what they do.
Wow! Ow! My cheese! Oh, Gustav!
Oh my gosh.
He's back.
Well, this is going to be the fourth time then. Ooh. Blue eyes, probably. What?
No.
It's a rainbow of death.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Hey, look! The first adventure.
This shit is weird.
Portraits. Oh!
Sure of it.
Oh! God. Giving me those flashbacks to high school.
I'm not sure I'm feeling this episode.
Seems like a mundane episode. For sure. Ooh.
Oh, I remember those are the cool people that they're trying to hang out with earlier.
Oh my god!
Betting it's going to be terrible or some such.
What?
The artist.
Yep.
Oh god!
Oh no!
For crying out loud.
Stop painting!
Oh god! Oh no! Freeze in the place!
Oh my god!
I think Quest by just struck out.
I think we can confirm Star vs. the Force of Evil season 3 is the very creepy season.
Oh. Oh. Ah, again, it's another truth test.
Ah.
I mean, granted, making fun of pictures that look like that is amusing, but
this is just so painful to watch.
Okay. Oh god. Oh my god. This is going to reinforce the actual ship now.
Oh.
Okay. What? Oh my god! Oh, it's because of the episode! Like Heckapoo. Technically, he's not holding his head.
Yay!
Yeah.
beautiful again, you say. Yeah. How about that?
Like I said, season 3 has had so many just creepypasta moments. I think we've learned anything. It's that Muni is a very scary place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it made for great off the wall adventures in season 1, but you gotta admit the humans haven't. Maybe it's that they haven't done such a great job of running things. Maybe we're supposed to be more actively worried about that than we realized.
I can sort of see that, definitely a disregard of any safety for expediting processes or anyone coming in with lack of knowledge about these certain things. Apparently, it's like giving children able firearm. It's like giving children ample chances of murder material, such as that poison ring. Yeah, it's certainly not a good place for to teach those of these materials will certainly help you. Oh no, wait, it's a monkey's paw. Oh wait, here's another thing. Wait, no, that's another monkey's paw. Wait, what about this other thing? This certainly is safe. Oh wait, no, this is even a bigger monkey paw than the last one. I don't know how, but it was possible. It's I certainly do feel this episode is kind of yeah, we're going to a lull for season 3 right now with a Marco episode apparently. Yes.
I mean, of all the things to take time out for, I guess we needed an episode at some point reestablishing Marco's parents and how they feel about all this and Marco's connection to them. But of all the ways you could have chosen for how to do that, I feel like this was going out on kind of a limb. I don't know, just me.
I actually liked the episode.
I've never seen a ultrasound in a cartoon before. Wow.
Never seen a what before?
Ultrasound.
I've never seen an ultrasound in a cartoon before. Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last time I remember seeing something like that was something deep in my memories revolving around a sequel of a movie from the 90s by the name of Mask.
Oh yeah, the Son of Mask.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the less said about that, the better. Now, this is better than Son of the Mask.
Yes, it is better than Son of the Mask. It's, I'm just sort of wondering if they're leaving any groundwork around the mole, as if it's some sort of significant detail for the Diaz's family. I don't know. It just being able to see a mole in an ultrasound like that. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird when you're not supposed to see those sorts of details being prominent in months-old babies inside someone. So then again, that might be the cartoon taking creative liberties just to show how similar they look like.
Mm-hmm.
But then that might be also a catch-22 saying okay, there's something significant about this. Brought up this plot point now, so I don't know what could this all mean now. But that's really that's only one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle right now is a bit of the fallout on the monsters right now after episode 13's party crash and no longer feeling safe in their supposed home turf. So the peaceful monsters, I assume all the peaceful monsters are gone now from Uni.
Yeah, that's sad.
And
it's kind of a sudden solution, hey, they can just suddenly gather up and go somewhere else just like that. It's okay, you think they would have somewhere along the way if it was as simple as that.
The one thing I find interesting, both these episodes had, at least in my mind, had a lot of death flags. Like just the way like I feel like, well, first of all, I think the one I did most is like Marco Jr. just said like it's like, oh, Marco just basically constantly saying, oh, I might not be around a lot and all that, and Marco Jr. being named Marco Jr. is like, it's had a weird amount of like death flags for me. And then also in the first episode, just like when Bullfrog's like, when you're Queen of Muni, then maybe we'll reconsider. I have a feeling that might be happening sooner than everyone wants.
Well, that's a good point, actually.
The people who were thought to have been, who maybe been killed like around the end of like the season 3 premiere episodes. That's kind of like a nice throwback. It's like, nah, that's raising some flags in me too. I mean, because they were the focus of season 3's beginning, right?
Well, and then she has to contest the throne with Eclipsa or something.
Yeah, there's that too. I mean, it's weird because we don't really know how the season. Like the one thing this episode, at least in my mind, confirmed is I have a feeling that Tom and Star are still going to be an item until like next season.
Right.
I don't like some people thought they were going to split up earlier. It's like I feel this episode, especially since they're actually investing and trying to show how it works. I feel it would be way too soon, and even if it's like the last episode they break up or something like that, I would feel it's going to stay into effect until next season.
I like Tom Co. I mean, not Tom Co. I mean, Tom and Star. Honestly, they're really starting to grow on.
I know.
Oh, it is.
No, Tom and Marco.
Sorry. I mean, Tom and Star. I'm really starting to like them together. They're starting to grow on me.
Yeah, we're not going to Legend of Korra this.
No, we're not.
I feel like that's how we're debating this because of what Legend of Korra did with Marco.
That was a slip. Dang, man. No, I didn't mean Tomko.
Well,
no, like that. This is a funny comparison.
Well,
I made.
At least
Like,
created a scenario where that slides nicely into place, though. Like, yeah, Tomko, I feel like they'd have to shift the dynamic around for that to honestly make any sense.
I know, and I don't expect them. And I don't expect them to, and I hope they don't. As funny as it was, I hope they don't. But I'm really starting to like Tom and Star. So.
Well,
I said, like, just going.
At least it wouldn't be the most forced ship.
Right.
But yeah, just going from what I'm saying is like I feel like Tom Star. I feel in like this episode for me confirmed is like it's going to go on to the next season, but it still has enough flaws in it where I feel it's going to break down at some point. And then because I feel in Starco, I feel is going to be the end game of the show. Like nothing has ever not convinced me of that. This episode like only convinced me that Tom Star is going to stay into season 4. That's like the main thing it confirmed to me. But like that's like if Starco doesn't happen, it's like that would be the biggest shock of me of this entire show.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be the greatest shock. Yeah.
No, I do agree that they seem to be trying to throw some that they seem to be in the mindset that like Tom's trying, but he's just not quite right for Star. But I mean, they're changing around too much. To beat around the bush too much for me to really be invested in who ends up with who anymore. I almost like, if they keep doing a good job on Star and Tom, maybe I'll be rooting for that. But it kind of seems like they're really not going that route. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna like.
Off of that,
I think I really think the only time that this kind of thing can work is if you find a really good invest for the couples to be working out the way they are, and I feel like this show really hasn't. It's just kind of tried to throw up obstacles for where it seems like it clearly wants to go, just so it can manufacture suspense or whatnot. So it's hard to care anymore.
But I just want to play off of that. Is like what you're saying. Part of what you're saying about how like you felt this episode made Tom Star more like you'll enjoy more. That's one thing I will say about this episode. This is like the first episode where I really feel like okay, I can see how Tom Star can actually somewhat work because we see both the ship grow in this episode and also Tom himself grow in this episode. So like that's why I still find it like a nice episode because it just basically it added weight to that. In a similar way to how like Marco and Jackie, how they actually fleshed out their relationship a little bit more in the end of season 2. Though that got resolved.
They fleshed it out in a breakup episode. Didn't they? Like, I don't remember them really get like from between the episode they got together and the episode they broke up. I don't really remember much of anything in between that where it seemed like they were trying to do something with that relationship. I don't know. Am I the only one, or like am I forgetting something?
No, a lot of people didn't know. Like they wished to have more episodes, season 2, and now. But I mean, what I mean is like we got to see how Marco, even though it wasn't in that many episodes, we got to see how Marco and Jen. I keep wanting to say Jen. Jackie played off of each other. How like they were sort of like a goofy, fun couple sort of thing. Even though we didn't get a lot of episodes, we got 3 or 4 where we got to really see that like character interaction. Where like now, like with Tom Star, we're actually sort of, I feel getting some genuine moments with them. Is like what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, any other thoughts besides shipping on these episodes?
No.
I mean, the first one was less a story than a plot point. Well, a couple of plot points. One with Star and Tom, and one with the monsters. And I mean, I don't know. I guess I was interested in what was happening, but I mean, I guess they might have to flesh out the thing with the monsters a little more before it comes across as just before it feels less like writer's decision and more like something that's has consequences in the show. I don't know. So, we didn't really. I mean, we had an episode where everything went wrong, but I mean, so far all we've really built up to is the monsters slowly making progress. We haven't really had much build up to them saying, "All right, we are officially sick of this. There is nothing more to be done. We're out of here." And they just kind of dropped that on us. So I think that to get invested in that is much more than a plot point. We might have to see it fleshed out a little more later, but still though, for what it was in the current point in time, it was a sad, sweet little moment. So that's fine. The second episode had its moments, like I think in the bit where they have to fix the painting, but it would have almost been more tedious than it was worth. At least for me.
I mean, for me, I was generally not really feeling much for these 2 episodes, so and not the only one. The tedium was indeed there.
I mean, I don't know, like this show in particular seems to have a way of doing this to me, but just the whole thing with the test and such, and of course there's a test he has to take for him to get painted, and of course there's tedious magical consequences because he doesn't do it exactly this guy's way. Like, I mean, and I don't know, I'm sure they were trying to make some kind of vague point about Marco needing to earnestly invest himself in his new little sibling. I'm not entirely convinced they're not going to go like the twist gender or something like the surprise it's a girl route, but
actually, I would really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it looks like a guy, but in fact, it's just a short-haired girl all along.
Oh, that would have been cool if it were. That would have been cool if it were a girl. I thought it was kind of stupid. They're like, "Oh, Marco Jr." Like, who the heck does that?
Thank you.
Like,
So,
seriously,
to be
seriously.
fair, like that's the one thing I do agree. Like I think everyone said like it's so stupid, but at the same time, it's exact kind of stupid that Marco's parents would do, and he sort of had to admit that.
And
I
so
almost-
is not
I almost
checking
think
the
it was
gender of their child before it's born. So
Oh
yeah,
my
I
god!
can
Yeah.
totally see that being
I
how this works out.
almost think that was like almost a guilt thing, that a underhanded guilt thing, because moms are great for like piling on the guilt. Honestly, like Marco Jr. It's like, oh yeah, Marco, you weren't here, so yeah, you're gonna be a big brother, so yeah, you're not here, so Marco Jr. So guilt,
I forget they said like that line they said. Let's see.
Like her mother was like, I carried you for 37 weeks or something like that. Like,
Oh,
No,
that
no,
one-
I pushed you out in 37 hours. Now you better go and hug me like a mama should. Like a mama's boy should.
You know what? As never ever a parent, but as a lady, I can be like, okay. And I have a philosophy, like if there's ever a pregnant woman in the room, I'd like, just do what the pregnant woman says and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, here's another like line I was talking, like it was just sort of like, because like they had both of them had a lot of sass in this episode, Marco's parents, but he was like, when Marco and started leaving, like his mother's talking to like that one popular lady.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually was a continuity and a thing I missed before, but like there are two couple that they were like in that first repeat of Miss Heinous where they were trying to get everything ready to meet that one hot couple of the neighborhood, like that's actually them in here. So like, oh, that's a little continuity thing in the background. But anyway, what I was saying, like when they're leaving, is like he's saying, and I quote, "Oh, we were so lonely, so we're like, hey, let's just make a baby." And you see that anymore. Oh, it's like right when Star and Marco are about to leave to try to go find a gift, and so it's like,
Well played.
It was like, gosh dang it. But also, I think my favorite like sassy line is from like Marco's dad, where he's like, it's like, oh, Star, you already took one of our sons.
Yeah. It's like, did the pregnancy like kind of make Mrs. Diaz a little sassy?
Yes.
It made her sassy. It made her sassy and sarcastic. And just for the record, viewers, that's not a side effect. That's not a side effect of pregnancy. Like pregnant, like you get knocked up, extra sass. No.
Doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't work that way, viewers.
It's more akin to like what Mrs. Diaz was showing, like the middle part. It's like, ooh, I'm going to eat a bunch of grapes as soon as she hugged grapes. It's like, no, that's more like the side effects of pregnancy.
Yeah. But also, like, there's also the classic, like, pickles and ice cream. She's like, I'm going to give grapes with, I don't know, some completely random, like, I don't know, grapes dipped in hot sauce or something. I don't know.
I'm very peckish, you know.
Exactly. And the thing is, you never ever questioned it. Again, you do what the pregnant woman says, and nobody gets hurt.
Right. Well, that can depend. Sometimes it can be the baby that gets hurt if it's not a very good parent pregnant woman.
That's true. That's true.
The drug
that's
trips.
in horrible and thankfully uncommon scenarios. And for the record, sometimes it is the dad you have to watch out for at least as often. But I'm getting sidetracked now.
That's cool.
But I mean, I don't know. Like Stars Versus has made me feel it's sort of offbeat. Like, hey, let's have a lesson on this or that, just told in this like really offbeat, non sequitur, creative way. And I mean, this like episode 2 here was certainly creative, but I mean, it's just more than anything else, it was kind of awkward.
I just find it like unintentionally horrifying. Is like the way I describe it. Like I felt it was supposed to be more comedic, but it was more like it's like oh damn. When he starts turning more into the pain, he's like that's legit horrifying.
Well, it was partly supposed to be.
I also kind of found it like a little bit retrospectively funny when like Marco was apparently becoming like a canvas. Like he sort of, it kind of felt like he was becoming like from a 2D like animation to like, oh, I'm just a 3D object. Lost movement for more dimensions, as it were.
I mean, like, if you see paintings in that style, I guess this is an amusing jab at those, but otherwise, yeah, like when they were undoing it, it had its moments, like Star demonstrating that she knows Marco, and some of the things she knows are things that we forget. He's, what's the term when you're not biologically that old, but you, like, that much time has passed since you've been on the planet. He's, what's the word? Totally escapes me.
Right.
He's technically 20-some years old.
And it was, like someone did like the math on form. Is apparently he's supposed to be technically 31 years old.
Yeah.
I just love that reaction to his parents. Who like this, like silently looked at each other, like, "What?
What?" And it's like, when did this happen? It's like, oh, just trying to get my own scissors.
For a second, I thought that was going to be like a gag, like, hey, we just established that Star knows Marco, and then she does the most, like, obvious goof up on a Marco question you could have, but then she was like, yeah, you two have been out of the loop, and I'm like, oh yeah, he technically is that old. That's what they meant by that.
Yeah. I'm glad they still have continuity with Hector.
The funny thing is, though, I want a fan edit of this where like Star is feeling like the questions, and then Marco turns out like Marco Hakuku Dimension.
Yes.
I want a fan art of that.
Yes. It's gonna be like, oh, Marco, thank you. I knew it. I knew answering the questions like this would have got me to this solution. Thank you, Star.
That was like that fan art where Sweetie Belle gets her cutie mark, and it's a piece of parsley.
Parsley?
That'd be terrible.
The Sister Who's Social, like, put the garnish on the eggs.
Oh, yeah.
And she technically gets that right.
Wait, what?
Sister Who's Social in a while.
It's been years.
This is a true statement.
It's been years, man.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Back in the day of 2011, all this time we thought everything was going to be fine. It wasn't.
Interesting times in 2011. Interesting times.
Well, times are, I guess, technically more interesting now, but
yeah. Like, we're getting close to like that AI-dominated future right now. Really close.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Just as long as someone doesn't have it in secret.
True that.
It's okay for the next 30 years.
True that.
I know you're out there.
Apocalypse aside.
Apocalypse aside, what?
Well,
Apocalypse aside. Never mind the big ball of fire coming toward us.
I said, goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Oh, hilarious.
Star Horse is not at its most inspired this week, I guess is my final thought.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it's not as terrible as, say, the early season 2 episodes. That's the biggest compliment I could give to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
There was some.
Not the best. Not the best episode. The only thing really good was like Glossary getting tossed over the stairs. I was like, yes. I was like, yes, take that, you twit.
It's like punishing the mentor figure when he's just that much of a trickster.
Exactly. And tricksters almost never get punished. And like this, and here you get Glossrix gets. I don't care how smart he is. He gets the treatment he deserves.
Well, I remember him starting to make us like him right before they just kind of took him out of the out of the thick of things.
Yeah, with Bongo, the ghost clown episode.
I still don't understand, like, what the heck, just What the heck happened to him?
I think he just really was like, well, I'm very much a neutral being on these matters. Like, Star wasn't responsible enough to keep the book on her at all times, so might as well be like neutral help like both parties in this case in order to hide.
I feel like at some point, like Glossar's going to be like, "Oh, I had all my facilities. I wasn't crazy. I was just watching you guys, just seeing what you do all the time."
This was just the next test.
Exactly. Oh my gosh! If that is what happens. Happens, this will be on the level. If that's what happens, this will be on the level of the revelation of Pidge and Quibble. Oh, the outrage you will hear.
It will be a huge twist, but you will hate this one.
Yes, this is a twist that I think I would hate. I think I would. I would have to probably the most I think PC or whatever, or I don't know, adequate thing to do would be to mute and then like yell out all sorts of obscenities.
So what would you feel if it was something more along the lines of Glossark is like a cat dog, but it's because of some sort of spell or something like that? How would you feel about that sort of
resolution? I'd accept that.
Wait, cat dog?
He's a pet right now more than anything else.
He's got this animal mind.
But like thing is, like he jumps between like acting like a cat and acting like a dog.
Right.
They showed him more as a dog, or like this episode they showed him like purring like a cat and all that. So it's like
right. And they actually had him like his body language when he was sitting on top of the letter. It was like a cat.
Cat Dog would have been a much better show if it had starred Glossaric, I will say that.
What? No. It is a very entertaining show with a lot of memorability with the ransack group of characters there.
Just remember it being kind of a cruel show.
I don't know. It'd be kind of like, I don't know, going a little far, but whatever.
I mean, it did have body horror. Like I was pretty sure Cat was very much close to reaching infinity by going inside his dog's mouth there. Just like the close to making art work. But anyway, I just I'm not feeling much for Katrina at the moment.
Well, I don't know. She thinks she's got a way to grow, you know? Literally.
Way to grow. It's like, I hope they give her something interesting aside from her sapiens.
Right.
Yeah. At first it was cute. Now it's just like, I see you're constantly developing. Oh, I see you being like the favorite. Okay, there was a snide remark. Okay, that's interesting. Wait, no, you're back to that.
I mean, I don't like, yeah. I kind of say everything in its place. I mean, she is the bright little kid who is earnestly buying what Star is selling, who is earnestly considers her a friend and isn't just the non-sapient. Oh, Star's there, give her a hug. Like, I can kind of get behind that.
All right, I guess that's. Do y'all have any closing comments?
Nope.
Nada.
Nope.
Don't know if I would yet. If I brought up worst episodes before. I don't know. Like season 2 had some, disappointing, or had even a couple of painful ones. But I'm not sure if it had like 2 in a row, or if because there were a lot where I at least thought half the episode was all right. So I don't know. I'd have to watch again to see if I have one that I would not technically have to say was better than this one. Yeah, although, well, then again, that would be kind of odd if this ended up being like my technical least favorite one, because I think my reaction to it was just kind of like, maybe not.
And that certainly hasn't been the most negative you've been on the show. Definitely know that for certain.
Although towards Star versus. Yeah. No, I mean I have laid into a couple of Star versus episodes, so yeah, probably not. Probably and I'm sure there was at least one occasion where they had. I mean, there must have been one occasion where they had 2 in a row for their 2 half episodes. So yeah.
All right. I guess with that said, see y'all next week.
Bye.
Ciao.
Have a good one.